So you found the skeleton. How would you tell it's a dinosaur? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on this.
Hey everybody, welcome to Dapper Reacts. This is, I don't know, number something or other. I am here with Dr. Kip Davis. I am not here with Vishanti. Vishanti is feeling a little under the weather today. And normally that would mean that I would then go ahead and reach out to Chesh. But guess who else is feeling a little under the weather today? Yeah.
Is it Chesh?
It is actually
Is
Chesh.
Chesh
Yeah,
the one?
no, that is
Okay,
correct.
wow.
Yeah, no, you got it.
I was guessing, and that was my first guess.
Right.
So I'm happy that I got that one right. Yes, me.
It's because of the context, which made it pretty obvious.
Context is fun that way.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
When you do what happens? Do you think there maybe is like when somebody goes to apologetics school, which is an actual thing,
right?
I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think that they just forget everything that they ever learned about how functional context is?
I have no idea.
Okay.
See, the thing that you
know,
I think people forget this, but like, I don't ever really spend time on Christian apologetics per se. I stick pretty strictly to like weird science claims, which often touches on Christian apologetics, right? But if there's a video that's like, oh, I just proved the resurrection is a historical fact, 1000%, atheism debunked, I'm not clicking that video. I just don't care.
See, I often say the same sorts of things.
And yet you know a lot more about apologetics than I do.
I do, but that's probably because my intersection is the Bible. So
yeah, it's a bigger intersection.
It happens. What's that?
That's a bigger intersection, I said.
Yeah, in terms of the apologetics world.
Like William Lane
Craig
I mean, isn't
it's
out
pretty
there
big in yours too, because there's a whole bunch of apologists that just really hate science.
That's true. But like William Lane Craig isn't making an entire series about like why the flood is real. Like he's just not doing it.
Well,
Ken Ham is.
I mean,
but on the other hand, Ken Ham isn't making a whole big series about like what can we learn from the Dead Sea Scrolls and how it proves the Bible is 100% literally accurate. He's not doing that either.
Not any of that. No, I actually don't think I've ever done any responses to Ken Ham. Now that I think about it, or answers in Genesis. Is that are those just synonymous? Answers in Genesis, Ken Ham.
So technically, no, they're not synonymous, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like saying, is the Republican Party synonymous with Donald Trump? Like, no, not technically, but it is in most ways that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not dead yet.
No, he's still kicking.
He's in his 70s now. I assume.
Think so. I think he's in his late 70s. Yeah. I think he's coming up on 80s.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Tree Clam Tan for $5 says, Chesh and Vish are both sick, and we are stuck with these men. Ugh, AIG's a sack of the host of the stream with a Mothra.
Thank you.
Wow, thanks.
Very nice. Very
Take
good.
A drink.
Tree Clam Tan.
I'm drinking a lemon shandy.
Nothing.
Why don't you have anything?
I just drank a whole bunch of coffee on the stream I was just on, so I'm just not.
So you're worried about your bladder?
Not into it. A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not feeling it. I guess I could go get a beer, but I also am a bit of a beer hoarder. So
you don't drink the beer, you just buy the beer?
I buy the beer, and then I count the cans of beer that I have in my fridge, and then when I drink one, I'm like, yeah, but if I drink this one, then I'll have one less cans of beer in my fridge than I had before I drank it, and I feel better having 4 cans of beer in my fridge instead of 3 right now.
Okay, but then that just means you don't drink the beer.
I usually don't until I do.
Okay.
So, and it's that situation, right, where my desire to have a beer overrides my desire to hoard the beer. And at that point, then I will drink the beer. But that hasn't happened yet today.
You know, I'm
It's
having
really
a weird
good beer,
flashback
too.
to an argument I once heard between a Catholic and an Orthodox Christian about Eucharistic adoration. And so, the Catholic was like, "Well, we've got the body of Christ here, so we're going to put it in the thing, and then people can come in and adore the Eucharist." And then the Orthodox Christian was like, "Yeah, but the Eucharist is for eating. If you just put it in a little round thing so you can look at it, that defeats the whole point."
It kind of does, doesn't it?
I mean, look,
Sorry, did you see?
I wasn't involved in the
Did you see?
conversation, but like, that Orthodox Christian made a point.
Very true.
Yeah.
I'm so amused by Daniel OS's comment. Yes, I am the guy with 99 bottles of beer on.
All right, so
So,
as
so
you guys
I sing the first verse of
Yeah.
that song, and then I'm done. That's it.
you don't want to go. That's what
done.
we call a quitter.
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
No,
99
not right
bottles
now.
of beer. That's it.
Separate stream.
I'm done. I'm done. Did you get that?
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
that's also quitting and horrible and dumb.
It's not quitting. It's going.
All right,
Mission accomplished.
The point of my weird flashback to that conversation I was not
Yes.
in, but a party to, I suppose, was that beer is for drinking. It's not for looking at.
I agree. It is. It is for drinking.
And so, like, you should
But
drink your beer.
when I drink some, that means I have less to enjoy later.
This is what I'm saying is that you're being the Catholic in this situation, and I need you. I need you to be the Eastern Orthodox guy.
Well, you don't need me to be anything.
That's
dude,
true.
I
don't
don't
suppose.
think so. But it's I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will go. Maybe I will go and grab one at the break.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how much I become convinced in my soul. To
Also, people are now
to
getting
do
a
so.
window into all the weird, like, internal inside baseball fighting conversations between various groups of Christians that I've just kind of been like a fly on the wall for. I'm like, this is an interesting conversation. What's going on here? And like just fights about like what you should do with the Eucharist. Like, oh, okay. Sounds like an interesting conversation. Tree Clam Tad for $5 says, Kip, these people are going to continue to tell us that the Bible was written in early modern English. You're going to need that beer pretty soon. That's a good point.
That's fair. But
Yeah.
this is the other thing that people fail to understand about me.
Okay.
Is that, hey, do you remember that movie Mystery Men?
I'm sorry, I think you broke up there.
Oh, do you remember that movie Mystery Men?
Mystery Man?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Mystery Men.
Men?
No, you didn't watch that one. And The Boys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The TV show and the spin-off. Have you seen the spin-off?
I've seen some
Gen
of the spin-off.
It's really good. I might actually like it better than The Boys. The Boys is coming back this month.
I keep internally calling it Gen 5.
Yeah, of course you do. I get that. It's a natural mistake.
I'm clearly
to make, but it is a mistake.
Pilled.
Yes. So but the premise, right, is that in the superhero universe, there's all sorts of people who acquire or are born with like super dumb superpowers.
Oh.
And that's me. My superpower, which is extremely dumb, is the like insanely high threshold of tolerance for the dumbest bullshit that you've ever seen, to the point where I don't need to consume alcohol to watch 4 hours of the now disgraced Egyptologist, or like a praise I've watched entire Praise I Am That I Am streams. You're familiar with that guy? He's done a lot of anti-science bullshit. Yeah. So
yeah.
But I bet you've never watched a 5-hour Praise I Am That I Am stream.
You might be surprised.
How? Oh God! Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Also, Tree Clam Ted says when he was an acolyte, used to bury the unused Blessed Communion wafers behind our church.
Wow. That's like, wow. Is that a war crime? Probably not.
So
But
I don't know what exactly the rules are because different Christian groups will have different rules for that. So like
Hmm.
in some churches, if the hosts have actually been consecrated, they're all getting eaten. The whole thing is getting
right.
eaten.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
also a reason why the number of hosts to be consecrated or the amount of bread, depending on which group you're in, will depend on how many people there are. So that way, because usually the priest who ends up eating the excess and drinking the excess wine. So usually it's like, okay, we got to make sure that this is not an absurd amount, so that this is not like the next 3 meals that this guy has to eat. But then other places it will be like you bury them rather than throwing them in the trash. Also, a number of churches have a drain in the little like area where they're preparing things that actually empties onto the ground, so that after you wash out the chalice, the water empties onto the ground and not into the sewer system.
Nice.
Which, if it were your regular drain, would actually be
That's-
pretty dangerous. But like you're rinsing out like
Right.
a few tablespoons of water every few days. So like whatever, who cares? Yeah.
True.
Anyway,
True.
what we're actually
Oh.
here for is, indeed, was the Bible actually written in King James English, and then later, like, back translated / written under the inspiration of God
Would it
into
be-
Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic?
At that point,
in
would it
those
be
bits.
back translated if it was written in English?
Yeah,
Maybe it would be.
I'm not
Okay.
sure. Well,
Yeah.
maybe Black Swan here and G. John Rove will tell us. Because they have just
Okay.
finished, they just said to us that what they're doing is they're taking a top-down approach to this argument, which means that they're starting with the conclusion that the Bible
Starting
was
with their
written in the
conclusion.
1611 King James English. So yeah, and before we get into this, there's a few things. One is I have a linked, I have a pinned comment here or chat, whatever. That is a link to Roshana Keller's fundraiser. Roshana has been having some health problems, which resulted in her job firing her. Which, yep, probably an ADA violation. But hey, you know what a fun thing is about the former United States? If you want justice, you have to pay for it, and if you can't pay for it, good fucking luck. And there, I just dropped our first one, but I think it was appropriate given this situation.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll allow
So
it.
there's that. Also, if we can get this to 50% funding, we're at 2% right now, I will drop a Steam key, and it will be the stream key that is voted for. Right now, the options are Inquisitor Prophecy, Vermintide 1, Space Marine 1, and Inquisitor Martyr. So, yeah. In case you're wondering, those two Inquisitor games are basically the same game, but basically the way that the Inquisitor game worked was they basically sold different classes as separate standalone products. So, like, it's a weird way to do it, but either way, let's see. We've got Inquisitor Prophecy and Inquisitor Martyr are both action RPG titles. Vermintide 1 is a first-person horde shooter, and then Space Marine 1 is a third-person horde shooter. So there you go. If we do get to 50%, I will drop the Steam key. You do not have to have in any way contributed to getting that 50%. You don't have to have super chatted. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. You don't have to have gifted memberships. You just have to be quick. I will drop the Steam key. Whoever gets it first, then just make sure that you let me know that you got it. And tag me when you get it. Don't just say, oh, I got it, because I'll miss that. So that's the only things I think there. We do have a super chat goal. If we can get 30 of the teal super chats or higher, then we will be able to drop another F-bomb. So there you go. Without complaint
That's
from
possible.
me. All right.
Yes.
So
That's
in this
right.
case,
Yes.
I think we're ready to hit play on this. So
I expect so.
unfortunately, today, chat did not send us enough super chats to make sure that we never have to talk about I don't even know these guys are creationists. Presumably they are, but the morons.
I would
we'll
think
say.
so.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
for me to think that you think that the King James 1611 Bible is the original Bible, and then also think that like you don't believe the flood happened or something.
They're in the right. Like they're in the same, because there's creationism is a big tent. When you get down to it, there's all sorts of different kinds of creationists, and it sort of feels like the 1611 King James only guys are just part of that dumbest threshold.
Yeah, they tend to
Of
be younger
creationists.
creationists.
Right there. Like, are they above or below the flurfs in the echelon of dumbness.
Oh, the thing is, there's
I
a lot
can't
of
even
overlap
decide.
between Young Earth Creationists, KJV only, and Flurf.
True.
A lot of Flurfs are
True.
KJV only
Yes.
Young Earthers. So, also Triceratops joined at the amniote level. So thank you very much, Triceratops. If we could send some what is it? Tetrapod emojis. There we go. To welcome Triceratops. Thank you for reminding me. I missed that. So thank you very much.
I
All right.
think I know what I think I know what a tetrapod emoji is. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay. Oh, and there's a 50-pound super chat from Ben Thick Tunicate. Says,
Wow.
cue the F-bombs for deployment. Thank you very much. Let me... All right. Wow, we're at 15. All right, I'm going to hit play. There's another 5 from Tree Clam Tad, who says, creationism is a big tent and science isn't invited with a Godzilla. We'll take a drink for that Godzilla.
This is true. Yes.
Thank you very much. And yeah, it is really true. All right, let me update this here. All right. See, now they're trying to get us to not play the video because it is going to be really dumb.
It's going to be very dumb.
Also, are those pomegranates on the points on that chair?
Did I lose my? Maybe I lost my membership.
You might have.
You know what? I think I lost my membership.
Well, your membership was only ever gifted, so
sure.
You know,
so
it expires.
Yes, that's the correct terminology.
I mean, you could for $1.99 become a member with a recurring payment. Just saying.
If I could figure out how to do that, I could.
There's a join button below this video.
There's
you just hit the join button and then you follow the directions.
I know, but it has things to do with like the pulling out, going and getting my credit card and putting in the right numbers and
yes,
all that stuff that I just couldn't be bothered to do. So
fair enough. Ben Thick Tunicate sends a bunch of Pelagic Tunic emojis, but then an AIG is a bag of dicks emoji and a Pelagic Tunicate emoji. So thank you very much, and I will take a drink for that. And then Renee Reborn over and over and over for $5 says, here to support you in these trying times so you can at least swear about the I think you meant BS takes with a Godzilla, and I will take a drink there. And actually, speaking of these trying times, okay, I bought the same bottle of salsa that I buy very, very frequently, right? Or not bottle, jar, I guess.
Jar, I would assume.
And I think what happened, I think my arms were tired from like disassembling and tearing apart an entire mattress, which is still not done. But It turns out, even with the proper tools, not super easy, and like requires a lot of just constant,
what are the proper
tedious
tools?
You want wire snips and needle nose pliers are the biggest ones. I also have some scissors for cutting cloth.
I lost my needle nose pliers.
I did too.
Which means that, but for usually when you lose tools, it's because you've actually lost them. When I lose tools, it's because one of my stupid kids has used them and left them,
right?
God knows where. So it's annoying.
It does sound it, but this time for some reason, I don't know if it was like a combination of that I was already tired, or that like there was like a weird temperature versus like where I was versus where like when it was bottled, so like there's an extra strong vacuum seal on it or something. But I actually like strained a muscle opening this thing, and even then it didn't work. So I got out a bottle opener to pry the bottom of the lid just a little bit to let some air in so that the pressure would equalize. And then suddenly it just opened like a charm. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm now currently sore from a goddamn bottle of salsa because I wanted some salsa and chips. And I object to this. Wow. It's not okay. Now, granted, I have tiny little dinosaur arms that aren't really designed for any of this. I get that, but still I'm very annoyed. And it also means I'm probably not going to do any more work on that mattress today because I'm a little sore and I don't want to make it worse. So
wow. So how much work do you have left to do?
I don't know, probably a little bit more than half. Basically, my goal is going to be to get rid of all of the springs that aren't on the margins, and then I'm just going to fold the rest of that thing up and toss it in the trash. And the springs that I'm pulling out are going in the recycling bin. But there's a ridiculous number of springs in there.
So you got a new mattress, and when they delivered your new mattress, they didn't take away the old one.
Yeah, correct. Which Probably should have thought about making sure that was going to be a thing before I did it, but whatever. Now I have a little project to do.
Do you like your new mattress?
I
Because
do.
I've
I
had
do,
this
yeah.
experience. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I've had this experience where I've gotten a new mattress and it's taken a little bit of time before it actually feels good. So, but yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you.
You know,
to
sorry,
Benedict
I'm just
Tunicate for
thinking about
sending
mattresses
10
as you go.
memberships. So I've already taken let's see,
Did I get
7
one?
drinks. I'm gonna 8. I don't know. Did you?
Let's see. I did not.
Sorry, but I just took
You
that
did a
10th drink there.
jillion, but that happens all the time,
Yeah.
right?
But also Lieutenant Math Navigator for $5 says there is more efficient method of disassembling a mattress that's much faster called C4.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not. I
Wow.
don't think I know enough about demolitions to use C4 safely. So I appreciate the recommendation, but I will be politely declining the C4 option. And then Ben Thick Tunicate for £5 says, Dapper, I'd lend you my pliers, but I suspect the cost of sending them to and from the US, from the UK, would be prohibitive. Yeah, look,
Probably.
here's the thing. I lost a set of needle nose pliers is lost. I have no idea how that happened. I don't really care. But like I bought heavy duty wire snips and some needle nose pliers like together for like $18. So like it's fine. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. And now I have heavy duty wire snips, which is a thing I haven't had since I worked as an electrician. So it feels a little weird to have them again. But you know what? They're really handy if you need to cut some metal that fits between the blades. So yeah. All right, so here we go. We're gonna hit play.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Now
why isn't it
that's
big?
the
I need
opposite
to make it
of
big.
how most people are going to, in the academic world, pursue understanding the scriptures.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We'll take a drink.
How is it
By starting
most
with
people are going to
conclusion.
pursue?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
saying
that
their
is
method.
true.
Yeah, their
That's
method of
very-
starting with the
well-
conclusion, then finding evidence for it later, is the opposite of how most people in the academic world work.
Yes, that is true. That is definitely the opposite of how I go about understanding the scriptures.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a very convenient because it means that you're almost never going to find a conclusion or an answer that you don't like because you started with the answers you already like. So like
right.
I get the temptation, right? Like I really do. I remember being a little upset about some things in evolutionary biology. Like I didn't like it that whales aren't mesonychids and are instead just artiodactyls. I thought that was kind of lame. But I don't get to make that choice. It turns out that no, they are artiodactyls. In fact, they're more closely related to hippos than hippos are to cows. So, yeah. And vice versa, of course. Hippos are more closely related to whales than whales are to cows. So, what was another one? That turtles turn out to be diapsids and probably closer to archosaurs than to lepidosaurs. Yeah, I kind of wanted them to be basically branching to the rest of what we normally think of as reptiles, as sort of like a surviving anapsid clade. But they're not, because it would be cool for there to be late surviving members of this ancient clade that is otherwise extinct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I also wasn't a huge fan of like within the Artiodactyl again, because for some reason I have strong feelings about Artiodactyl taxonomy. I didn't like that Suoidia went away.
After all.
Suoidia was a fun place where we could stick entelodonts and suids and tiosuids, as well as hippopotamids. But now, nope, turns out that whole thing is polyphyletic, so get rid of it. No Suoidia for you. Even though it looks like it should be a thing, but it's not. And so...
not a thing.
The thing is, though, in those cases where I was disappointed with the outcome of evolutionary biology, I didn't pretend that it's not the case. Right? I was also disappointed when it turned out that Oculodentavis was a lizard and not the smallest ever dinosaur, even smaller than the humming... What is it? The bumblebee hummingbird, I think, or something like that, right? The smallest known dinosaur. It was supposed to be a dinosaur even smaller than that. And I was like, I looked at it.
That sounds adorable.
It would be, yeah. But I looked at the head preserved in amber. And I looked at the scans of its skull. And I said, this looks like a lizard. I think this is a lizard. And I even said that publicly. And then other scientists around the same time were saying, guys, this looks like a lizard. And then the original paper authors retracted their paper and said, yeah, no, this was a lizard. Sorry, not a dinosaur. You know what,
Whoops.
though? It would have been more fun if it were a dinosaur, but it wasn't. It was a lizard.
Sounds fun. Sounds
Yeah.
very fun.
And so I am used to having a preferred option for what the data I would like for the data to indicate and for it not to happen. And being okay with
Yeah,
it.
no, that's I hear you. And this describes a lot of my feelings when it comes to things like the fragment of first century Mark. I mean, but seriously, that'd be very, very cool to
Yeah.
have a first century fragment of anything from the New Testament. Would be amazing, right?
Honestly,
and
even from the Old
I'm
Testament,
not
that'd be
even.
pretty
I'm
impressive.
not even. What's that?
I said, even from the Old Testament, it's pretty impressive if you get a first century manuscript.
It is. But we do have lots of those.
Right.
So to have something that we have nothing for, and I'm not even one of those guys who thinks that the New Testament wasn't written until like the 2nd century. So like I'm a firm believer that there were manuscripts at some point in time. So it's like I'm totally
Like by 80,
open
90, we probably have a
to
few
that.
manuscripts that were produced of Mark.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally open to that possibility. So as much as I wanted first century Mark to be an actual thing, you're right. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
Same with I mean, even the Mount Ball curse tablet would be
cooler.
cool.
Yeah, it would be cooler for
It
real.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yes. And it doesn't even mean cool in the way that like I'm not even. I think a lot of apologists will tend to think that these are the sorts of data that require, some sort of come to Jesus moment for critics. And I'm just like, it's not even like it just wouldn't have any effect on me at all. It like just not
Actually,
at all.
I'll be honest. If there were this logically requires a come to Jesus moment, if true, and then we found it, I would be okay with that. I'm like, all right, well, there we go.
I'd be fine with it too.
I guess it's time for
right?
everybody who is interested in data or information to come to Jesus, because we just showed it.
Yes,
that's just
but
what you just do there. It's just like, oh, okay.
And I have interests that go in other directions, right? Like I'm for me, like something like a late Bronze Age, early Iron Age curse tablet found at Mount Ball. I'm less interested in, oh my God, Joshua and the Israelites were here, and much more interested in, wow, like, was this a place for, ritual cursing
Curses,
that was so prominent that it became part of like the lore?
Yeah.
It's to my mind, I'm like, wow, that's cool.
By the way,
So,
hey guys, if you're looking
anyhow.
for like TTRPG world building ideas, a curse mountain would be really cool. What if like the local king has been cursed, and what you need to do is you need to fight your way to the curse mountain because someone has buried a curse scroll cursing the king at the curse mountain, and it's guarded, like the mountain itself is guarded by various things that you have to overcome to just get to the curse mountain in the first place. Like maybe there's zombies or skeletons.
You could even
or something.
do like a lead curse scroll. Could you? Could
Yeah,
you
sure.
beat lead that thin?
Why not? It's fantasy. Who cares?
I don't know. Okay. Fair. Because I know lead's really soft and pliable.
It's extremely look,
but can you make it thin?
You can make it thin. Gold gets thinner, but you can make it really thin. In fact,
Right. Yeah.
gold gets so thin that
Okay.
I was talking with someone about gold leaf, and this person was like, "That sounds really, really expensive." And I'm like, "You can buy like 200 like printer size sheets of gold leaf for like $11. There's so little gold.
No kidding.
In gold leaf, it's
Wow.
like monomolecular.
That's amazing.
It's tiny.
It's incredible.
Yeah. My Unfinished Journey, who's been a member for 36 months, says, "Hail Daps and Dr. Kip, and hail common sense assisted biblical criticism." Yes. Then Vandalia
Here we are.
1998, who's been a member for 64 months at the amulet level, says 2 combustible gases make water, and 2 poisons make salt, and birds don't come from bird-hipped dinosaurs. Science be crazy. It's true. All of those things are true. Let's see. Tree Clam Chan for $5 says my preferred option for the data is that it be correctly interpreted with, let's see, pride flag, transplant flag repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. In which case, I will say yes. And trans rights, and in fact, as it has been pointed out to me, various laws invalidating the IDs of trans people are in fact the beginning of what could in fact be a genocide against trans people in the former United States. So, it is past the concern stage. We're getting into the action stage. It is the first step in a genocide, is to make it so that the targeted group of people no longer have valid legal status or legal rights under the law. And yeah, so that's already happening. So stay safe out there. Buy and Finish Talk for $2 says, don't pretend the 1611 KGV was the original. Like and share. Yes, please do like and share. Then, let's see. For another $5, Lieutenant Math Navigator says, unknown modern object of ritual significance is the Caledonian Borg duck. What is the ritual associated with this? Petite Flower for $5 says, people who want to find cool things so badly that they hallucinate evidence for it. Yeah, basically that's what's happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ben Thick Tunicate for £5 says, been live for 30 minutes and we've maybe made a few nanoseconds of the video. Tell me Kip is on the stream without telling me Kip is on the stream. Yeah, no, it's true. Not that I help either.
I don't think this is my fault though. I really don't, because
I disagree.
I'm the no.
Yeah.
I disagree, because I was several minutes ago I was about to quote one of my very good friends and tell you to press the goddamn play button,
because they're trying to go back to the Hebrew and
There we
build
go.
their way up. We're starting with the top down, that God has finished the Bible in English. It is perfect.
Hey,
and because it is perfect,
Dapper, does that feel kind of racist to we start at the top and work our way down?
I don't know. So part of the problem is, like, I don't want to assume that this is being made in a racist way just because these people are like white Christians, because that's not a requirement. I know very much anti-racist white Christians. On the other hand, it's easy to get there from this phrasing. So what I'm going to say is it's a concerning way to phrase this argument and to conceptualize this argument. But also, one could simply say that they're trying to use a directional analogy for the way that their argumentation differs, and that the typical directional analogy that people use is when they're not trying to say that something is backwards or like reverse from what it ought to be, but they're just saying we're coming at it from the exact opposite direction, is top down versus bottom up. So I can see some non-racist ways to get there. So I am going to go ahead and say that right now, I am wary that this is going to get racial, but it hasn't yet. Does that seem reasonable? Okay.
Yes, that's reasonable. Yes.
All right.
Just always get the skin crawlies when I hear things like that.
I mean, I don't blame you. I do too. But like, there are non-racist ways to make that to say those words in this context. There are ways to go with that are not racist. I hope that those are the ways that they're going to go with it.
Let's hope so.
But also, I mean, it's a fair chance it won't.
We go in a retrospective way, okay, a reverse engineering way,
which I is the opposite of the way that history works. By the way,
yeah, I don't even know if that's true though.
Well, what they're basically saying is this is the culmination of the history of the Bible, is the King James 11, and that was always the intent. Apparently, was to arrive at the King James 1611 Bible, which means that since that is the end product that was in mind, we can think of everything as having sort of like a retro causality of everything was intended by God to lead to this point where his perfect Bible is produced here in the year of our Lord 16 and 11.
Do you know why is that the name of his channel? Did we talk about this last time?
Above God's
God's
Name's
name.
channel. Yeah, that's the name of his channel.
The name of the channel is Above God's Name.
Yeah.
Did we?
They mentioned
What does that
something
mean?
like it was paraphrased from some phrase in the King James version that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to paraphrase it this way. But I don't think they've explained exactly what it's supposed to mean. The only thing I can think of is that they're saying that the 1611 King James Bible as a text is above the name of God, which is a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Isn't
I think part of the problem is I don't
name
actually
of Jesus the
Oh, sorry.
name
Name
that's
above all
names?
names. But see, what you're forgetting
Yeah.
is Jesus is the Word of God, and so is the 1611 King James Bible. So, yeah.
This is it.
see,
Now I get
there you
it.
go.
Thank you.
Yep.
You,
Yep.
You cracked. You cracked
Um,
the code.
I'm like the weird Christian whisperer. And the other thing is, like, I want to make it clear. This idea that these two are purporting to like give us is basically, as far as I can tell, like unique to these two men. There is not, as far as I can tell, like a Christian community believing in this stuff the way they do. Even like King James only people tend to say that like the King James is an inspired translation and it's based on the inspired original texts, and that in some other language, provided that it was a good translation of those original texts from which the King James was translated, that would then be like an authorized or an acceptable version in that language. That's not what these two are doing. These two are going way farther. Like, these two would make Gail Ripplinger blush with their craziness. And if you don't know who Gail Ripplinger is, she's basically like the mother of KJV onlyism. She is
I didn't know that.
yeah, she wrote this this book called New Age Bible Translations. And my favorite little
Wow. Is it from the
trivia bit
Was it
about
from the
that.
19th century?
No, it's from the 20th century, early mid 20th century. I think it was
Holy
like the
cow.
60s or
Is
something.
that new?
Yeah.
Really?
King
Wow.
James onlyism is a pretty recent phenomenon, Kip. It's
Boy.
pretty recent, yeah. But one of my favorite things is that there was
Seems more recent than dispensationalism.
I believe so, or at least as it's currently formulated, it is. But one of my favorite things is in that book, she calls a what is it? It's one of the Bible translations that its name is whatever Bible, right? And she put version in there because a lot of Bible translations, the last word is either V or B, right? Version or Bible.
Yes.
Well, she put Bible, and the actual name is version. And when called out on this, her claim was that she got that name from God, and that's what God calls it in heaven. So basically, when Gail Ripplinger was called out for just not even checking to see what a translation was called, her response was just be like, well, it was God who was an idiot, not me. God's the dummy. Go take it up with God. And it's like, okay, sure.
Wow.
Great. And also,
Okay.
Kent Hovind is a big fan of Gail Ripplinger, and they have had numerous phone calls, according to Kent, where they just talk about the Bible and the King James, and yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
She's still alive then? Or
I don't
is-
know if she is now, but when he was relating these stories, it was a few decades ago.
Sure.
So I have
Boy.
no idea if she's alive right now. I also
So it's like the
don't
the
super care.
JAV. Are you familiar with the JAV?
The JAV? No, it does not sound familiar.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
is
No,
what is this?
That's the Joel Anderson version.
That sounds like not a super real thing.
It's an actual thing
Okay.
that you can actually buy
Oh.
on Amazon. In I think it's 4 or 5 volumes.
Why?
Like there's a volume because apparently Joel Edmund Anderson when he finished his PhD thought, hey, I know Hebrew and Greek now, so I should do my own translation.
Just on his own.
The Bible.
You know, there's a reason why
that's
virtually
it.
all
Just the
translations have a translation
whole thing.
committee, right?
There is a reason for
Yeah.
that. And that is also how you avoid like silly mistakes.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, when God began to create the heavens and the earth, which
Is that actually what Genesis
far
1:1 reads in the
too-
JAV?
that's it. That's how
Oh
it
wow.
reads.
It's
entirely far too many words.
That's very silly. Yeah, look,
It is.
the reason that you have translation committees is so that people can check each other's work and be like, this is a dumb way to translate this. We're not doing
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say that all these committees are always unbiased and always produce good translations. That's obviously not true.
Oh,
But
it's
chances
not.
are your translation is going to be done better with a committee than without a committee. So, Rando from chat for 200
It's
Argentinian pesos says,
definitely better.
since the war, the Iranian History Museum moved their artifacts to safe places. That's good. Categorized by type so they wouldn't lose track of them. They put all the ritual objects in the same bag in which they labeled AIG. I'll take a drink.
Very nice.
I love ritual objects. It's good stuff. All right, here we go.
To understand all matters. And we're going to get into this, and let's take a look at top down. Why don't you put on the screen my first presentation? I'm going to have several presentations here.
What is it with these guys and AI? This is the same nonsense as before. Like
As before what?
Like our last bit with Tad and Fad and whatnot.
Oh,
Lieutenant Matt,
I don't remember a lot of AI with that one.
well,
Was
no,
there?
their screen names were AI and their videos were full of AI.
Oh my! Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Lieutenant
Yeah.
Math Navigator for $5 says you don't need a committee if you have a hat and some rocks. That's a good point. That is a good point.
True,
As long as you have the Urim and the Thummim, you're good to go. For $5, Vandalia 1998 says if King James English was the original language, is what you spoke back in the Jurassic? Oh, is that I missed a word?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think he's talking about you.
No. It turns out it wasn't. Which means it probably wasn't the original language. Sorry, I missed a word there. That's me.
You had to actually learn English.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pain.
Amazing.
But like,
Yes.
okay, so there's a few things here, right? First of all, that seal at the bottom, not even close to symmetrical. Also, the font there can't seem to figure out if it has
No.
serifs or not, because sometimes the ones kind of look like they have a little intro stroke that goes up and to the right, but sometimes they don't. None of the corner sapphires are like even close to about the same size, and some of them are like melding into
They're
the background.
not.
Also,
They are. Yes.
what is that texture on the inlaid section on the cover? What is it? It's not leather because it's supposed to look like metal, but it has sort of a weird metally or a leathery text. Like none of this makes any sense.
Yeah.
Also,
No.
the head of this figure that's behind the 1611 is fading into the background light, but also the rest of the figure has some fill light that's reducing the yellow spillover effect, which means that the head should too. Also, is there a left arm for this figure? I don't know. It doesn't seem to
No.
be anywhere.
There is not.
This looks horrible.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
it looks like the left side of that figure is just is kind of green screened.
Yeah.
Against like it's almost like the background is a green screen, and he's sort of fading. Can't decide what's part of the background and not.
Yeah. The thing with these AI images is it feels like someone took a whole lot of time. Like if this was something that a human produced, it would be like someone took a whole lot of time to learn how to like shade different shapes really, really well, which is a fairly advanced thing that you have to learn to make really good drawings. But then just kind of
It is.
ignored the entire idea of like form and like perspective and the idea of getting like a good sketch down first so that you have like all the shapes that you want in the right places. And instead it's just it's a whole bunch of muddled nonsense that if you isolate any tiny little picture, like that little tiny little section works fine. That's okay. But then the whole thing put together is just nonsense. It's one of the things I hate the most about AI is if you don't look at it, if you just glance, you're like, fine, that looks okay. But then the second you take any time to actually think about what you're looking at, you're like, what is this nonsense? I hate everything about this. Let's see, we got a few. Oh, we got some fairly decent. For 1611,
Yeah.
Mr. Plow King says, first paycheck at new job. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And thank you for opting to say that you appreciate me enough that I should get a small portion of hopefully a small portion of your first paycheck at the new job. If that's a large portion of your new paycheck, you need to get another new job. For £10,
Agreed.
Ben Thick Tunicket says, I recall seeing a documentary about you-know-what in the ancient world. It included a painting of a woman using an inanimate object to enjoy her own company. It bore a striking resemblance to AIG. We'll take a drink for that. Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff in the archaeological record that's like, how do we say that this isn't a sex toy? To which I just say, just admit that it is. Who cares?
It sure is.
Just, people have been enjoying themselves for millennia.
Since they figured out how.
Look, there are wild animals that will use inanimate objects to enjoy themselves on occasion.
Mhm.
Or will also just use other animals involuntarily. So, yeah. Rando from the chat for 100 Argentinian pesos says, Dapper, when the super chat is misspelled, I have to read every letter exactly as it is. Dapper, when the super chat is perfectly written, dyslexia is on. Okay, look it. I'm going to hit play. That's all I got.
Definitely a
That's
two-parter.
all
I'm assuming it's most likely going to be a three-parter. If the viewers will stay the course with us,
Okay.
they're going to see things
All right.
that is going to renew their mind and transform them. And it's going to bring them into
Oh, sorry.
the value of the King James Bible.
Kip, are you ready for your mind to be renewed?
I am ready.
Okay.
I'm ready for my mind to be renewed and transformed.
All right.
And the value of
Okay.
English and the
I
honor
see.
that we speak English.
Before we continue though, I'm looking at what's on the right-hand side here, and this already looks dumb.
Yes, that is true. It is already dumb. Let's hit play.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I skipped Tree Clam Tad super chat. Oh, I did. Oh my goodness.
You
I'm sorry,
did?
Tree Clam Tad. Do not put my name on those shitheads, Dapper. I'm far better at lying. That's fair. Yeah, you are. It's hard not to be.
Now, this right here is Revelation 5:1. When we get to Revelation chapters 4 and 5, Shane, we are in the throne room of God. I call the throne room of God the control center of heaven and earth. You'll remember how Jesus taught the disciples to pray? They were to pray heaven down to earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Fun fact. This is just apocalypticism, right?
Yeah.
The idea, the very dualistic idea that there is this one-to-one correspondence between, it's very Platonic, between like the forms, the eternal forms that are out there in heaven somewhere and everything on the earth. Apocalypticism bought into this, and that's exactly what's reflected in the Lord's Prayer.
But have you considered that it's actually also secretly teaching you that the 1611 version of the Bible from King James is the actual eternal word of God?
You know, that's I mean, that's not even one of the top 10 things that I've considered.
Okay, but think about this.
About
the word book is the 16th word in Revelation 5:1 in the 1611 King James.
The 16th
yeah.
word. Oh, what number do you think it is? Now I want to check. I got to check and see where it is in other translations.
Yeah, that's going to be important.
Hebrews of Revelation 5.
Yep.
So book is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
In what translation?
It's the 16th word in the NASB.
Well, the NASB is also pointing you back to the 1611 King James.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, but look at this. In the NIV, it says scroll.
Well, that's because the NIV is actually a New World translation that is setting you away from
New
Jesus.
New Age, definitely.
New Age translation.
Should we check the RSV field? Oh, it also says scroll. That's terrible.
Well, these are clearly pagan heathen translations that are there to turn you away from God.
I think so. Wow, look at all of. Oh, what about the ESV? No, it's a scroll too. Damn it.
Well, I guess the conclusion there is even the people who want you to be as sexist as possible also still trying to lead you away from Christ. So
they sure are.
I'm gonna hit play on this before we find too many more translations that are leading us away from the truth of the 1611.
Oh, so that's wait, hold on. What about the Latin Vulgate?
Well, I don't know what. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not going to use the word book.
It's not. That's true. But et vida in dextera Sedentis Superthronum Librum
That's book.
Scriptum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not even close to 16. 2, 3,
Well, Latin
4,
is
5,
weird and
6.
dumb.
That's like 8. That's like the 8th word.
Yeah, well, that
And
clearly that means that the Catholic Church is actually the
because
whore
it's
of
half of
Babylon.
16.
Yeah. So now that we figured out the Catholic Church is the whore of Babylon, I'm going to hit play.
Good.
Down argument right there. That's not earth trying to raise up to heaven. That's heaven perfect coming down. That's a top down argument.
Heaven.
It's not even an
perfect
argument, my
coming
dude.
down.
It's not even an argument.
It's just-
What are you talking about? But it's like if I said, "Hey, did you know that at one time the Empire State Building was the tallest building in the world?" You're like, "Well, that's a top-down argument." No, it's not. It's just a statement. It's not even an argument. There's not this and this, therefore this. That's not even in there. What is? I'm taking a drink for. That's a top-down argument. Not even an argument, buddy. It's not even really explicitly stated in the prayer. You're just kind of putting that in there, and I don't think it's a completely unreasonable thing to think about the prayer. But like, it's not even actually there.
So, you know what's funny, Dapper? Maybe
I
I
mean, I know some
I
things.
find this funnier than most people, but like, yeah, like the significance of this is obviously because book is the 16th word, therefore 1611 King James version, right?
Right.
But like it was revised a bunch of times.
Well, that's why it's only the 1611 that matters.
It was revised a bunch of times in the 17th century.
Yeah, but that's why the original 1611 publication, the first printing, that's the one.
But then
matters.
why? Oh, that's the important one. And this, but then how is this pointing us to the 1611 public? How do we know it's pointing us to the original and not to one of why not the 1629 version?
do you not see that the book is the 16th number? It's right on
yes.
screen. It's the 16th word.
But so and that's what I'm telling you. I think it's actually pointing us to the 1629.
Well, you would
version.
think that because you, sir, are actually controlled by Satan. So,
but how do I know?
That
how
you're
do I
controlled
know?
by Satan?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're disagreeing with these two, the first two ever real Christians here. These are the first two Christians who've really figured out Christianity. These two.
Oh my God.
You disagree with them, so obviously you're wrong.
Wow.
Plus, I'm sure that this is not their only numerical argument. I'm sure they will have other arguments that include the 11.
Okay.
We're starting with the broadest argument here. We're gonna narrow it down later. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says a Catholic Bible is far too vulgar for these guys. I like that. That's good. That's good right there. All right.
That was in Matthew 6 where Jesus taught the disciples to pray. And if you have any questions along the way, just please jump in and ask me or dialogue with this.
Sure.
So when we look at Revelation 4 and 5, and John is taken into the throne room of heaven, the control center for heaven and earth. This is where all law and authority proceeds from the throne of God. We read in Revelation 5:1 a unique feature of the throne. And the feature of the throne is the book. It says, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne.
I feel like the book is actually just a thing on the throne and not a unique feature of the throne. But like, okay, sure.
It's not even on, the book isn't even on the throne.
I mean, it says that it is in the 1611 on the throne, a book.
No. Yeah, but no, it says, I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne.
Yeah, but that's not the 16th word. Him is only the 9th word, and that's not the number that we're worried about.
No, but that's not how I mean, this is... Look,
Kip, you're thinking too much about the actual literal meanings of all these words. What you need to focus on is the numbers. The numbers are the important part, Kip. What?
Oh my God.
Do you think the text is what matters? No, obviously not.
God damn it.
It only matters when Mr. Rove here says it matters.
Okay.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, the real word of God says, thou fault commit adultery. Yep.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to hit play.
A book written within and on the backside sealed with 7 seals.
Okay.
Revelation 5:1. And I'll just ask you real quick before I go into this.
Would have been better if it had been 1,611 seals, but like whatever.
Much better, yes.
Although then that would raise the question of
Or even just 11.
John...
I would settle.
Oh.
I would settle for 11 seals.
Okay.
Right?
The consequent chapters of Revelation, where the seals are open, the seals of this book are open.
By the way, that's not what consequent means.
Okay.
It's the later chapters. That's consequent is not a like that's not how that word works. Anyway, Lieutenant Math Navigator for $2 says the numbers, Kip. What do they mean? Yeah, Kip. You're a Bible scholar. How do you not already know this?
And the words are being written that are of this book. Where do you read those words? Don't you read those in the Bible?
No.
Wouldn't this?
No, because in the vision, John doesn't relate all the words
They don't
in the
actually.
book.
They don't say the words.
Yeah, so
actually,
the books are not.
They're there.
Yeah, like you could imagine
they're opened and things happen.
Yeah, you could imagine that what's in the book is the Bible, but like you're also then imagining that what's in that book is something that no one never ever thought of as a thing until long after Revelation was written. So like you could retroject the idea of a Bible back into this. But what's more likely is probably like the book with like, you know, like the names of the Book of Life that we get in things like, you know, like Yom Kippur celebrations and whatnot, things that people of the time would have actually known about. That could be what's in the book, you know, something that people when this text was written actually knew about. Maybe it's that. I don't know. That seems like a more plausible, which again, even that, the idea that this is the Book of Life is not actually in the text. It's just that that's a conclusion you could come to without requiring retrocausality. I don't know. I mean, am I completely off base there, Kip? That you could come to that conclusion without retrocausality?
No, I think you could. Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Book of Life is a much more plausible reading of Revelation 5. Am I saying that's what the author intended? No, I do not know that. But at least it's a possibility, unlike this. Tree Clam Chat for $5 says, what would Kip know about books? He has written none with a Godzilla. And that is true.
Hey,
we will take a drink.
I will have you know that is not true because I've written this book.
Kip, if you had written a book, I would have read it by now.
It has a picture of me on the back of the book.
That doesn't even look like you.
And what do you mean that doesn't even look like me?
I've never seen you in profile.
Well, that's true. That's very. But
still doesn't really look like you.
Come on.
I mean, for one thing, that picture isn't even wearing a hat.
Dude, I even have the glasses that appear in the picture.
You actually bought glasses so that you could look more like someone else's picture from a book that you didn't write? That's crazy, Kip. What a weird guy.
Right.
Indicate to us that the Bible is that book that is sealed?
No, because there was no Bible when Revelation was written.
So
that wasn't
wait a
thing.
How does this work? Because in his mind, the Bible is the book, and the book was sealed, right?
I guess.
And so it's opened when?
I guess at Revelation, I suppose. Even though this is the writing of the final book.
So we're still waiting.
The whole
Are
thing?
we still waiting for the book to be opened, or did this happen in 1611?
Or did it happen when Revelation was being written, which is already in the book?
I
don't
know now. I'm just very
John, if you ever watch this, which I don't think you will, but if you do, let me know what's like the timeline here, because that's an actual question that I think
I am quite interested in that. Yes, feels like these guys are invested in timelines too, so they should have some insight into this.
You would think. Megan Fox Giant Boo says, "Are you confirming that you are as smart as a cop?" I will say I'm at least as smart as a cop.
A Kip mythicist. Hey, would that could you call them a Kipithist?
Ooh, get a little portmanteau in there.
Yeah, a nice portmanteau.
I mean, I would say that a Kip mythicist is slightly dumber than being a Shakespeare mythicist, and we have one of those.
That is
So
that is true.
that was weird.
Did that
was
oh
last
right,
week.
that yes, that was your 15K
Yeah, it
sub
was
stream.
very, very
That
strange.
was that was a very odd thing that
And then he
happened
got
in
very,
that
very
stream.
angry when I pointed out that I would now have to vet him harder because that makes me suspect that he actually just has a mental illness, and I don't want to make fun of someone with a mental illness,
Ooh.
which is actually just true. I don't like it. If you're just some guy who's like on the street corner refusing treatment because of your severe mental illness and ranting about like how there was no such thing as Shakespeare, I don't want to debate you. I want to see if like I don't know, maybe you'll take a sandwich or something because that's what you need. You don't need a debate. You need people to help you. And that's a thing that you run into on the internet is people who don't need a debate. They need help. And I'm not going to debate them because they don't need that. No one else needs it either.
That's not helping anybody.
Right. So like I don't say that to make fun of someone. I say that because like yeah, that's a legitimate concern of mine at a certain point is that you might just need mental assistance. Now, I can overcome caring about that if you're also just a complete asshole like Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. I think that guy is mentally unwell, but he's also a piece of shit, so I don't care.
Sure.
So, you know, because no mental
Yeah.
illness is telling you that women are in fact not humans and are in fact just baby incubators / milk machines. That's a thing that you came up with on your own. There is no mental illness that causes that. So, and yes, that is in fact an almost direct quote from him on Discord. So, Sapphire Zombie Goliath
Nuts.
Light for $5 says, we also know base 10 is God's number system because it wasn't the KJV, because if it wasn't, the KJV would have been written in the 1600s, and none of this would work. That's true. Yeah, base 10 must be God's base system, even though many languages and societies throughout the world have used other bases. Tree Clam Chat for $2 says, I think Kip Assist is the name for Kip's community. Oh, that could be the name for like the people who watch your channel or the Kip Assists.
The Kip assists. It could be.
I like it.
That's possible. You missed Ashley Loves Blowhigh's member chat.
No, I didn't. I just haven't gotten
You
there
do
yet.
those, don't you?
I just haven't gotten there yet. It's the next one.
I see. Okay.
You can't say I've skipped it until I've gone to one after it, Kip. But yes, Ashley Loves Blahai, who's been a member for 12 months and is at the tetrapod level, says Kip is a bookend Canadian volcano mythicist.
See, that's I'm not a volcano mythicist.
It really feels
At
like
all.
you are, though.
I'm not a Canadian volcano mythicist. I just think that the word I think it requires more nuance. That's all I think.
Yeah. And I think that we need more nuance about the vaccine schedule, Kip. That's how that sounds.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm not saying
I'm a flat earther. I just think we need more nuance about the shape of the earth.
It's not, that's just not it at all. It's got
the same vibes.
It sure doesn't.
It does.
It would be better if when we use the word volcano, we were referring to pointy fire rocks. That's it. That is just it. It's it. That's it.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that I'm against all vaccines. I just think that giving so many vaccines to a child so young, I don't know. Maybe we just shouldn't.
Oh, see, your argument sounds harmful.
Yeah, you're being harmful to volcanoes, and also by saying that, I just realized this video is almost certainly going to get me a community guidelines warning. So,
oh dear,
yeah,
well,
that's
that
fun.
Sucks.
YouTube,
wow.
in case you review this, I am currently making fun of the anti-vaxxers, not supporting anti-vax positions. So, you know, if you could not...
The algorithmic court of justice in YouTube doesn't understand that.
No. Well, sometimes human reviews do actually occur. I've had a community guideline strike go away because of a second human review, to be fair, but yeah. So,
I had a community guidelines strike reinforced because of a human review once.
Yeah, what you got to do then is you got to go complain at them in a public forum. But yeah, Tree Clam Tan for $2 says, I think Kip Assist is the name for Kip's community. Oh, I already read that. Right. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. We are a little bit overdue. I'm going to get myself a fresh beer. Well, Shandy, I don't want to lie to you. And then we will
Don't lie.
Yeah, I just didn't. I corrected myself in order not to lie.
See, this is me being like Yahweh in Deuteronomy chapter 7, where when he said, don't intermarry with them and don't be friends with them, he wasn't then telling them, don't kill them all. Okay? It's just, this is how languages work, Dapper.
I feel like I would need to check with the
No.
Pope of Linguistics.
Do you know the Pope of Linguistics?
Allegedly, it might be me, so I don't know about that.
No.
Yeah, people have accused me of being the Pope of Linguistics,
Yeah.
which seems weird.
It does seem weird.
Yeah. You would think the Pope of
because,
Linguists
like,
would
it
have to
feels
be a
like that
linguist.
yeah, and it would feels like it would require like a whole
Yeah.
conclave.
Like, how
and
weird would it
everything.
be if, like, the cardinals elected someone to be Pope who wasn't Catholic? It's like,
that would be weird.
like, hey, Jimmy, I know you're a Southern Baptist, but how would you like to be the Pope of the
unprecedented.
Catholic Church? And then Jimmy's is like, okay, I guess so. And then Jimmy, who doesn't know how to say Mass, has to go be the Pope. It'd be weird. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I'll read this Tree Clam Tad super chat when I get back from grabbing myself another beer. And we will be right back in just a few minutes. And so in the meantime, please enjoy the musical stylings of one Bent Hoven so that I can go get more beer. I am back. Kip is currently muted because he can't figure out what being ready to go back means. He keeps thinking that it means telling more and more stories. Also, Kip, I just gave you a whole bunch of crap about maybe using a snifter for your beer, and then you just drank your beer without even putting it in the beer glass that I thought might have been a snifter.
I was getting the head off of it so that it doesn't spill, but I spilled it anyways, thanks to you. This is all your fault.
I accept no offense.
All of it.
Tree Clam Tat for $5 says, Kip, quick question. You can go on a large hill near you can you go on a large hill near you and see Mount Rainier that is neither pointy nor fiery? So you're saying that's not a volcano?
I think Mount Rainier is pretty pointy.
Not as pointy as it could be.
So
that's a lot. You're like, I did this to get rid of the head. That's a huge amount of head right there.
I'm under pressure right now, so leave me alone. This is a really good beer, by the way. It's a whiskey and oak stout from Farmhouse.
I was quiet. Sorry about that. My bad. I fixed it.
It was better. It was
no one told
better.
me except for the people in chat.
No.
Sorry, that was on. Oh, you know what? That's a Dapper's a professional drink right there. Take a drink, everybody.
Yeah. But also, I don't think I can. I don't think I can get to a high enough hill to actually see Mount Rainier from here.
Okay, but you recognize that it is a volcano, right?
It certainly is, and it's pointy, or at least it was pointier.
Okay, so I think what I'm getting here is we now need to figure out like a definition for pointiness to see if we can actually apply Kip's weird idiosyncratic definition. But now that we're back, I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who has been super chatting, everyone who's gifted memberships. All that stuff really helps the channel. As you guys know, this is the thing that I do full time. Not like this one show, but like working on the channel, getting videos produced, all that stuff, right? And it is a huge risk to have that as your full-time job. It is very easy any given week for that to just collapse. So if you like the channel, if you want to see this channel keep on going, my recommendation would be first, check the Patreon out. The Patreon is where I get to keep the most of the money that you're sending me. It also does not depend in any way on the capricious nature of Alphabet. So there's that. But also, super chats are always helpful. Join the memberships. There's also merch down below, which I don't make a whole lot of money on, even if you buy it, but it is still fun. I also have a wish list, and right now, the wish list is still on Amazon. And coming up in about 2 weeks or so, well, not less than 2 weeks, I'm going to be switching over to a Throne wish list because Amazon will stop not giving out my address. So that will mean that things get a little bit more expensive. So if there's something on my wish list that you were like, that would be a fun thing to get for Dapper, now is the time, because soon all the prices are going to go up by like about 8%. So yeah, if you want me to have that like Carolina Reaper sausage or that copy of whatever book, or I don't know, anything like that, it is currently the time to do that because they'll get more expensive. So yeah. Or even just, that little sensor for using incense that's shaped like an Adeptus Mechanicus sensor. In case you want me to be able to praise the machine god more effectively. So, yeah, because, of course, we got to praise the Omnissiah. Otherwise, what are we even doing here? Kip agrees.
We're learning about...
who do you think is the source of all knowledge, if not the machine god, Kip?
I guess is the machine god the source of all the bad choices in this video as well?
No, that's people going against the will of the machine god.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm really bothered by the font change with the number 16 as well.
Yeah, it's a little weird they changed the font and the size. I don't know. Just to emphasize it more, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I can understand changing the size and making it bold, but
they went to a completely different font.
Totally different font.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Now take a look. When you top down, take a perfect Bible, the King James Bible, and
perfect Bible.
Perfect. I'm just taking a drink. It's such. I was not expecting that.
Oh, hey,
Oh.
you have one, don't you? You
I
have a
had one. I think it
1611?
got lost on a
Oh, you
move.
had one?
I have not been
Oh,
able to find it for
damn.
months. Yeah.
Does it have the does it have the Apocrypha in it, or is it
It
just
does.
the
Yeah.
66?
The Apocrypha are set apart
Wow,
in a
really?
section between the Old Testament and the New Testament when you open up a
But
1611
that's
King
still
James.
part of the perfect Bible, isn't it?
I
The
believe
perfect
these.
Bible.
I believe these two are pro Apocrypha guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I myself am pro Apocrypha. So
Yeah,
at
I think
least
there's
we
a lot
have
of fun
that in
stuff in there.
common.
I mean, look, where else in the Bible are you going to find a story that starts with a bird crapping in a guy's eyes, and then ending
nowhere else in the Bible.
and then ending with an exorcism of someone's vagina?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only place you're going to
Yeah.
get that is in the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
You count forward.
I also like trickster sarcastic Daniel.
Yeah.
In the
Bell and the
Apocrypha.
Dragon, that
He's
sections.
pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also like Daniel Dragonslayer.
Yes. Yes, who doesn't like that?
Also, Ecclesiasticus has some cool stuff in there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what I'm saying is, if you like the Bible broadly speaking, if you're someone who's a fan of it for literary purposes or devotional purposes or
You
whatever,
could say, if you fucking love the
no,
Bible,
you can't. Now you owe me an
could-
extra $10, Kip, because we didn't get there yet. You jerk. Kip is muted. Muted Kip.
I just
I'm muting Kip. Kip,
look.
how dare you? How dare you?
I'm just reading what's on the shirt. That's it. I'm just reading what's on the shirt.
You could have read the censored version.
It's on the shirt. There's a shirt and it has the words on it.
Don't say it
I'm
again.
just reading them. I fine. I won't read the shirt.
The number
There's
of
a coffee
words
mug.
that God
No, there isn't a
used,
coffee mug.
how he economized to translate Hebrew and Greek into English. Okay.
Wait, I thought he wasn't translating Hebrew and Greek
Wait,
into
what?
English, though. I thought
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm
King
like,
James
where
was
are we
the original.
going here?
If King James is the original, then the Greek and the Hebrew are translations from the King James. That's what's actually happening there. If that's the original, maybe they just don't know what translation means.
Okay. The Hebrew and Greek, let's say Old Testament by and large Hebrew, New Testament by and large Greek.
What are
Actually,
the other
no.
bits in Greek and the new non-Greek in the New Testament?
I was going to say, I believe the New Testament is totally
I guess
Greek.
It has some transliterated
If you-
Aramaic. I guess
I was just saying those two, but are those really? Yeah, those aren't really like that's just transliteration, though.
yeah.
I think I don't think that counts.
I don't
They're
know.
still using, and they're still using Greek letters and providing the translation every time.
Yeah. I'll say this, like, if you want to make the argument that there is Aramaic in the New Testament, I'm not really going to fight you on that. But I will say that calling it entirely Greek is also perfectly reasonable and the default description that you should go with. All right, we got a couple of super chats. Tree Clam Tan says, how apocryphal are we getting? Burning the midwife's hand? Jesus pushing kids off roofs? Women who can't be burned? I need to know. So first of all, many of those things are less apocryphal and just non-canonical. So there's that. The Apocrypha refers specifically to a set of Jewish texts that are not generally accepted as part of the Tanakh and are rejected by most Protestants. And we're sort of given a sort of a side eye by St. Jerome on the basis of the fact that basically none of them had known Hebrew originals. But we have since found Hebrew originals for some of them. So there is that. Some of them we do know actually were written in Hebrew originally. And some of them were just actually written by Hellenized Jews who were writing in Greek. And they were popular religious texts all through like the first few centuries of the Common Era. But in Christian circles, like I said, largely after St. Jerome, they got sort of a secondary status assigned to them. And then Protestants kind of stopped using them at all after Bible publishers noticed that people still bought Bibles that didn't have them. And then eventually Protestants started to think that 66 book collection that left them with was actually the real Bible in some kind of authoritative way, even though what they were actually doing was just picking a cost-saving measure from some printers as their canon, which is a really weird way to determine your canon, is based on what saves printers money. But, whatever. And also, I'll take a drink for the Gedora, because there's a Gedora at the end of that.
Got
And then for
super
another
chats,
5,
too.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator said, you can find the phrase, the King Jim version is the true Bible in the 5th appendix to the Apocrypha. Awesome. And I think that actually might take us over the Steam key window. So does it? It does. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy out. Well, first we're going to end the poll. Space Marine 1 was the winner here. So what this is going to be a key for is Space Marine Anniversary Edition. So in case you're unfamiliar, Space Marine is the original game from, I think now it's like 14, 15 years ago. I think 14 probably. It is a horde shooter. There are multiplayer bits. I don't know how active those servers are, so whatever. But it is the story of the formerly non-canonical Captain Titus of the 2nd Company of the Ultramarines chapter Space Marines, who has been sort of retconned into continuity, and he turns out now he was actually just the captain before Cato Sicarius, and he is once again the captain after the death of Captain Akaran, who died off camera, which I'm kind of annoyed about. But I'm actually even more annoyed that they killed off Chiron off camera, because Chiron was really cool, and then they were just like, no, he died, by the way. It's like, wait, what? It's like, but Gadriel is still there. And it's like, oh, okay. But anyway, that is the key. Please let me know if you try it, whether or not it works, and at me when you tell me, because that is the key. Remember, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. You don't have to do anything except be fast. So grab that key.
I'm fast.
Did you grab the key?
No.
You don't even have a Steam account. How would you even use it?
Didn't even try.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
I mean, Kip, if you were like, oh, hey, Dapper, I'm getting into Steam and I want to play Space Marine 1, can you help me out with that? I would absolutely help you out with that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Jew and Gentile being made one in English, if that makes sense. So when he translates
God,
into
that
English
makes
and
no
he
sense at
economizes
all.
the
What?
That doesn't
How
make it,
does
yeah.
that make any sense?
Because the only thing I can think of is that, like, English is a primarily Gentile language, which, okay, sure. That's most languages that aren't, like, specifically Jewish languages, like Yiddish or Ladino or Hebrew or something. But, like...
But there's a... I mean, there's already
What?
just a perfect... Greek. You could do this with Greek. There was a rich... Already, there was a rich Jewish heritage in Greek literature and culture. Like, I mean, they loved that shit. They did. That's how we ended up with so much Jewish Greek literature in the first place. That's how we ended up. I mean, honestly, that's really how we ended up with the New Testament that we have, because they were reading their Hebrew scriptures in Greek. Like, you don't even need English. You just Greek. You can do it in Greek.
But Kip, have you considered that's inconvenient to these two guys who don't want to have to learn Greek?
That is inconvenient. That's true. So it's hard, you know.
Chesh is now
it's
confusing
hard
me.
to learn.
I just got a
these
message
other
from
languages.
Chesh.
Oh, what did she saying?
So-
Why didn't you call me?
No, because I already told her I wasn't going to call her because she's not feeling well. And I also last night told her that I had Jordan read the log for our next game of Star Trek because she's not feeling well. And then she just sent me a recording of her reading off the captain's log for the next episode of Star Trek.
It's because she's so sick, she's delirious, Dapper. She's hallucinating.
She might actually
through her fever dream of illness. That's what's happening.
You know what? I'm just going to let her... here's what I'm going to tell her. Go drink tea, you dummy. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. We have a few more things to read now that I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with Chesh. Rando from chat for 100 Argentinian pesos says, the original language was obviously Etruscan. That's why parents is said Afer in honor of Eve's, Lucy's birthplace. None of that checked out for me, but you know what? That makes sense because none of this checks out for me. Nothing that's happening today. Let's see. Tree Clam Tat for $5 says... I didn't mention the Apocrypha capital A. I said apocryphal. Oh, okay, as in doubtful authenticity. Although widely circulated as being true, dinosaur. That's a fair point. You did that. You know what? I stand corrected on that one. Now Chesh is like, I already drank a large Earl Grey tea. Go drink lemon
Just drink more.
tea. Go drink lemon tea. All right. I don't know why I'm letting you guys into my DMs with Chesh, but it's not like they're being like private or anything. It's just like, go drink tea. Landon Knoll for $9.99 says, Dr. Kip, for your choice of words, Mount Baker is a nice pointy volcano with volcano emoji. It's in my top 10 faves. I presume you can see it from your side of 0th Avenue. Ice is a bag of AIGs. Please say, we have to have 2 more super chats before we can say that phrase, F-Ice.
So you can actually, Mount Baker looks like it's in your backyard from many places on my side of 0th Avenue, because it just about is. When you're driving through Abbotsford, you get very nice views of Mount Baker. I can't see it from my house because there's other mountains in the way, sadly, but they're nice looking mountains too.
That is sad.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Mount Baker's great. There's a ski area that is, it's not actually on Mount Baker, but it's called the Mount Baker ski area. It's actually on Mount Shuksan, and it's one of my favorite places that I used to go snowboarding and stopped going snowboarding because, you know, the border just it just messed everything up.
Yeah, it did. Naramdaputs for $5 says, if you were a character in a fighting game, what would be the name of your special attack? Or what would the name of your special attack be? Sorry. I have never thought about that. But I presume it would be some kind of chomping thing. So like a dino chomp or something, which actually I think is the name of a special attack in Power Rangers. So I don't know. That feels weird now.
Really boring.
What sounds really boring?
Dino chomp sounds really boring.
Does not. You've just never been chomped on by a dinosaur.
I didn't say it. No, just the name of it sounds really boring.
You're really boring.
Not the action itself.
Go write a book. Go write your first book.
I did that in 2011.
That sounds fake.
Wait, no. 14.
Lieutenant Math Navigator for $2 says, how does one tell if Chesh is delirious or normal? If she does extra work for no reason that she already kind of finds onerous, delirious. Then she's probably delirious.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Arrow Dodger for $9.99 says, the last video game Kip ever played was Bible Adventures for Nintendo Entertainment System in 1991. Kip is not only bad at math and a volcano mythicist and Canadian, but he's also uncultured. Ooh. Rough.
Ouch.
And then
that sounds like a cool game, though.
With our 30th super chat that counts, Tree Clam Tad for $5 says, fuck ice. Absolutely.
Fuck ice.
Yep. You know, I'm taking a drink for the fuck ice. I don't even care. It's not even a drink rule. I don't care. I'm doing it. Partly because it's kind of getting warm.
Here in Canada, I actually like ice. Because we use it for skating and to keep our drinks cold.
If you wanted to gather up all the ice in the US and skate on them, I would be okay with it. I wouldn't complain about that.
I don't think you could, though.
I mean, you could try. You just have to get really sharp blades. I
feel like I'd just get angry.
Well, that's also
and then start stomping up and down.
Also fair.
On the ice. Because I'm so mad that I can't skate on it.
Get figure skating skates so they have the little points at the toes.
Those are called toe something.
Toe something. Yeah, get the toe somethings. You haven't even finished one beer.
God, that bothers me now. That I can't.
I'm gonna go with toe spikes. I'm gonna hit play.
Toe plants.
Sure.
Toe something.
Words. He does so in a affluent manner to yield a revelation. So,
dude, or maybe just maybe. Hear me out. Maybe the translators had a concern for the flow of the text in English. There you go. That's it. That's the whole maybe. Maybe it was just the translators who were like, what if this sounded like a normal English sentence when we translated it? I don't know. Could be that.
That's it. Toe picks.
Toe picks.
Toe picks.
You don't pick your toes with them.
Toe picks. No, but you do toe loops with them.
Okay.
So
We go and we count the words, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book. Book is in the place number 16.
Mm-hmm.
So it's beginning to identify
yes.
halfway to you, the book. 16.
Halfway to
I think
you,
everyone
the
can
book.
follow that. It's pretty elementary.
I mean, it is
that didn't
elementary. That is
sound
the
like-
16th word. Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
It's beginning to identify halfway to you. The book is not is words.
I'm not sure.
Not a sentence. No.
You read Ecclesiastes 7:27, talks about Solomon's wisdom in counting to understand a matter, one by one, counting to understand.
Right.
Wisdom.
So that means
So wait, did
We can
Solomon write
scour-
the King James?
no. Solomon is
version?
wise because he counted, which is God telling you to count Revelation 5:1 specifically to find a place where book happens to be the 16th letter, or sorry, the 16th word in a verse. Come on, Kip. This is very basic Bible stuff. You should get this as a Bible scholar. I'm honestly kind of surprised that you're this bad at the Bible, given that you were in fact a professional Bible scholar.
So counting is in God's
Oh wait,
own declaration.
Yes, Kip.
there were. I assume there were already chapter and verse separators in the 1611 King James.
Yes, there were.
version as well. And they obviously think that when the original English Bible was written by who the fuck
By God.
like Seth. Oh, okay. God. That they wrote it that way, right? They started Genesis 1 verse 1.
Yeah.
Right? So all of that is included.
It's all
like
original.
they're all the numbers are
Mhm.
original
Those were put there by
to
God.
it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Because I mean, you could just start anywhere in the text.
But only
and
if you
arrive
ignore the
at
divinely
book.
ordained chapter and versification.
You have to take that stuff very seriously.
Yeah. It's definitely not a later addition
I
onto the
guess.
text made by scholars to make it easier to reference the text.
So what that means then is the English King James version of the Bible was translated into Hebrew and Greek.
Yeah.
And they just decided to we're just going to take all the numbers away.
Numbers hadn't been invented yet,
All the
Kip.
versification. No, because well, that's fair. But wait a minute, you just said that they wrote in English and included the numbers.
Yeah, the 1611 guys did.
Right. So why didn't they just keep the numbers
Because
when
numbers
they
hadn't
translated
been invented.
it in? But
The translation
just
happened
said-
before the 1611. Like,
no,
Paul
did
wasn't.
it? Isn't-
Paul was
isn't that
writing
the-
out the Greek version of the 1611 King James, but because numbers hadn't been invented in the 1st or 2nd century, he couldn't keep the chapter and the numbers and the verse numbers.
But he had them, didn't he?
Yeah, but they were
his
just gibberish to him, so he didn't
1611
bother.
King James. That's why.
Yeah, because
I
numbers hadn't
guess.
been invented yet.
It's just, okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you guys, you thought of everything.
Yeah, this is really
Boy.
simple. I don't know why you're having such trouble with it, Kip. Like, really, this is embarrassing for you.
It's very. It is. Being here is always embarrassing for me.
Well, maybe if you just like the Bible a little bit more. Inquisitive Infidel for $2 says massive mastication maelstrom. That's a good one. All right, here we go.
Wisdom. Let's
That's
take a
a
look
10.
at the next slide here. Now, what we're doing is we're going to the end of the verse, and we're
Okay.
counting backwards. Sealed
Oh,
7
right,
with
right,
sealed
right.
backside, the on and within written book. And when we go backwards in this verse,
Oh my God!
book
Kip, why didn't you think of going backwards? Because when you go backwards, it's 16 and then 11, and like, it's the 16th
That's
letter or 16th word, and it's the 11th from the end.
It's the
There
11th
is-
from the end.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now,
Wow.
the thing I want to point out here is like, okay, if you look
Oh,
For every occurrence of the word
This
book.
this fixes. You know what? I asked the question before, and this fixes it. And
yeah, right.
I
It's not the
submit.
1620 whatever.
It can't be.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing about this, right? If your goal is to provide evidence that the 1611 King James is the original word of God, right? And you're willing to do anything with the math, you can probably find some place where some word that you're going to find significant is the 16th from the start and the 11th from the back, and you're just going to pick that.
Yes.
The fact that it was a thing that
Yes.
occurred doesn't really matter. Because you didn't predict that.
You know what I'm
beforehand.
interested in?
What's that?
I'm interested in the legwork that went into this discovery.
Oh, like
Because somebody had to
scouring the
sit
Bible?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yes, they
desperately
did.
looking for anything that
Look
could
for
possibly
anything.
hint at the 60. Yeah.
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 I also have to agree with KF Fox that Shakespeare is cooler. You know this, right?
That
It's
Shakespeare is
the
cooler than what?
the one of the Psalms in the King James version. I can't remember which one, but there was this idea that it was translated by William Shakespeare because the first word in the psalm is shake and the last word in the psalm is spear.
Oh yeah, that's proof positive. Also, Tree Clam Tad for
Totally.
$2 says, "What the
Never
actual
right.
fuck?" Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I first skimmed
the
over this
actual
video,
fuck?
and I was like, "This
Right.
cannot be real." But no, it does seem to be real. Metageeky Platypus Librarian for $5 says, "What is really sad is that all their blather is countered by holding the KJV to the light of the moon on Pi Day to reveal drink Ovaltine with the Mothra." Yeah, guys, drink your Ovaltine. It's the secret code. Oh, that's really
I like
good.
Ovaltine. I haven't had it in a long time. How long
I
has it
haven't
been since
either.
you had Ovaltine?
I had no idea. It's decades at the very least.
I feel like that, yeah. I should go buy some.
Go do it. Just do it. Stop whining about it and go do
Oh,
it.
thank you, Tree Clam Tad. Psalm 46.
There we go. Is that Psalm 46 Septuagint number or Psalm 46 Masoretic text number?
Well, that
Everyone uses the Masoretic text number. I know. It's fine.
I believe so, yeah. So
Look, I just say that to be kind of like, pedantic and kind of a dick.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
the thing is, I actually do prefer the Septuagint numbering. Like if I were in charge of how we
Of the
refer to the Book of
Psalms?
Psalms, yeah, the Septuagint numbering.
Why?
Yeah, because it joins
why?
it joins two Psalms that form a single acrostic, and then it splits up two Psalms that have like completely different tones, which means it's almost certainly the
that's
actual
fair.
original numbering of these.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I prefer it, because it actually makes sense.
Okay. I just, I just have never invested that much time.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of time
So
to
thank
notice
you
that it unites one acrostic and
Certainly.
splits up two
True.
otherwise unrelated sections of one Psalm.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Is now the 11th word.
How about it?
So go.
Sorry.
Do you know, I was just thinking now, probably not, but I know, actually, I think I have, let me see if it's, I pulled out my Geneva Study Bible earlier
Ooh.
today, but I
We're
know
not in
that
Switzerland.
true, I know that in some English Bibles, because I made this discovery when I was a kid and it fascinated me.
Oh, it's got both.
Oh yeah, sure, they do it with this. No, I was just going to say with like Psalm 119. They've included all the Hebrew letters.
Oh, so you can see where the
for the
acrostic
acrostic,
is?
right?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So now, I like it too. But when I was a kid, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Right? Like that was part of my fascination early on with
Yeah.
Hebrew and learning Hebrew.
Another
It
reason I
was-
think
it
that
was
the
like-
Septuagint number is probably older is that like that acrostic doesn't actually form an acrostic in Greek. So why would you do that if you weren't working with an older Hebrew manuscript that broke them up that way? So there's that too. Anyway.
I don't have a 1611, but I do have a King James.
I'm gonna hit play while you let us know what it says.
Going forward,
Alright.
we have this book being identified as 16, going from the back to the word book 11.
Okay.
1611.
Okay, but you do realize that like that's a coincidence that's gonna happen in any time that like how many words are in this? So that would be like, what, 26 words? So we're going to find a word there in that same spot in every 26 word verse in the King James Version of the Bible. And somewhere, sometime, it's going to be a significant word. And then what? What do we do? Because the thing is, we can also do that with other numbers, right? We could be like, oh, what's the 13th word in every 25 word verse? And it's like, sometimes it's going to be a significant word. So then what? What do we do with that? It's not a date you're looking for, so the answer is nothing. But like, it could be the date I'm looking for, and then I have just as much an argument as you.
Katie Lewis wants to know if you're daring to claim that the Septuagint is actually a translation of an older Hebrew text and not the original composition.
I am, in fact, daring to suggest this, yes. And one of the bits of evidence for that is that it unites what would be an acrostic in Hebrew into one psalm, despite it not being an acrostic in Greek, which would be hard to explain unless the Hebrew is the original and the Greek is the translation.
Do you know what the Septuagint also doesn't do? Is begins each of the lines of the acrostic with the same letter, because it can't, right?
I literally just said that
because it's a Hebrew.
I just pointed out it's not an acrostic in Greek. Yeah,
you said you. Oh, you did say that. Sorry, I was fixated on the first part. So in my King James version, it doesn't have the actual Hebrew letters, but it actually has them spelled out.
Okay.
The Aleph, Beth. Oh, I said Beth. Sorry.
What's
Aleph,
next?
Bet,
Chet?
Gimel, Dalet. Verses. So now I'm very interested to know how those appear in the 1611 King James version. And what on earth? I hope they're there, because now I really want to know what they think those are.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone has a facsimile 1611, let me know.
Why did you lose your 1611 King
wasn't
James
on purpose.
version?
I'm very upset about it.
I
wasn't trying to.
You are so unreliable.
There was definitely like an entire week where I spent like probably 10 or 12 hours just tearing through every section of the house that has books in it, looking for this facsimile. Yeah.
In this house? But you're sure you had it in this house?
No, I'm not sure I had it in this house. I'm sure I had it in the last place I lived. Okay. So that's why I think it was lost in that move.
Damn it.
Yeah, it sucks.
People should just never move.
I mean, it would make certain things easier.
Yes. Like
that's this right here, which is available if you're in the United States through our kjbm.org website.
Can you
want everyone
he's
to
just
be able to
holding
start
up
reading
his 1611 King James version, isn't he?
Look, I'm not going to knock him for selling 1611 facsimiles.
No,
whatever.
It's good.
It's fine. Rando from chat for 100 Argentinian pesos says, so the Septuagint is a Greek translation of a Klingon translation of a Hebrew translation of an English manuscript. Yeah, that does sound right.
That's where we're at now. Yes.
Doesn't make sense to me unless English was a translation of Voynich. Well, I mean, now we're getting deep into the weird. You don't know about Voynich?
I don't know what that is. Oh my,
Kip. We might have to Vishanti and I might have to educate you on Voynich.
Okay.
Yeah, remind us, and we'll tell you about Voynich.
Can we watch Barbarian instead?
No, we can do that in addition.
And okay,
we could even do
Good
it first.
Boy too. We got to watch that too.
Yeah. It's still a little weird to me that Vishanti hasn't seen Barbarian.
It feels strange, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Tree Clam Tat for $2 says, in this house we don't have a 1611 facsimile. I mean, I wish I did. I wish I had one. I want to have one. I bought it for a reason. And I just don't, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my throne wish list when
I feel like I don't have one in this house either.
How dare you?
And I really wish I did.
It's the actual words
of
God.
I've never had one. I'm learning this.
Yeah.
It must also follow that God is a dumbass. If truth be told.
From this book.
Can you explain that again? Like the 16, I think I get. So moving forward on the 16th word, you get book, and then 11. Where's that?
Dude, it's right there on screen. How are you not getting this? My guy, My estimation of your intelligence was never high to begin with, there, Shane. But
No,
this
it's
question
just-
is making
it's
me
just
think
what,
it's like
like that,
oof,
right? Yeah.
real low.
Wow.
If you
Where do you
start at
get
the,
level?
Oh,
the
Noise
verse,
Ending
start at
says
the end
Good
of the
Boy
verse,
was
you see
really
that
good.
We say wait, Noise on Good Boy was really good. Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder, so
Yeah, I know.
I could just watch it
Yeah.
right now.
I know, but you would prefer to wait and watch it with your good friends.
I mean, there's only
If you
so much
enjoy
waiting I'm
watching
going to do
movies.
on that one.
Fair, I get it.
number 1
So,
here under seals.
We've got to knock this
Now
out.
you're counting
11. Oh my
backwards.
goodness. Wow.
Do you know?
This guy
I
just
don't know
got
how to
blown away
take
by the
this.
concept of counting backwards. I'm taking a drink.
Sorry, I missed that.
Jeez.
But I don't know how to take this, but Maya couldn't she was surprised that I thought that I really enjoyed Barbarian, and I'm like, why wouldn't I like Barbarian? It's a great movie. And she just said she was like, it just didn't seem like a thing you would like. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to take that.
I don't know either.
I
mean, I'll be fair. To be fair, I think
it's a really good movie.
Vishanti and I
It's a
have
very good movie.
opened your eyes more to the horror genre as something that you enjoy more than you
Yeah,
might
but
have before you met us.
I watched and enjoyed Barbarian even before we started, and that is true. But
Maybe
that was
that's
even
just it.
before.
Maybe that's just it, though. It happened to be a horror movie that you liked, but generally speaking,
Yes,
your enjoyment of horror movies has gone up since Vishanti and I started
That's-
showing you good ones.
that's
Yeah.
probably it.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wow.
You see that?
Yep.
Wow. Look,
That
Now,
is
if we're
right
to
on
say
book.
that this
saw
is accidental,
Jeez. No, it's not accidental. It's a
yes.
coincidence. It's well,
coincidental.
yeah,
yes.
it's coincidental. It's
100%.
It's just a thing that happened.
And I bet you could probably find like 30 other verses in other English translations
Mhm.
where it does like the same thing,
Yeah.
except with the 1629 version.
Literally, all we're doing here is we're saying, okay, look, this 26 word verse has book as the 16th word. Okay, cool.
That's it.
That's it. That's literally all that's happening right now.
That's all we're doing.
when people say this to me, I ask them, how many accidents do you need to see before it's no longer an accident?
Coincidence?
I would need to see something that actually could be predicted from a conclusion that wasn't just found after the conclusion was made, that just kind of happens to be vaguely in line with it. Like, I would actually need there to be textual evidence. Like, what is it about the text of the book that actually makes you think that the translations are going from English to Hebrew? Right? Because there are indications it's going the other way. For instance, actually, this is an example for Greek, right? So one thing that Greek likes to do a lot is to use like a reflexive pronoun to emphasize the person that is an argument of the verb, right? So it'll say things like, I myself did thing. And that happens a lot in Greek. It's not actually a normal thing for English to do, but it happens in the King James. Why does it happen in the King James? Well, because they're translating words like auton, right? Why? Because they're in the Greek. So why is that? Well, there's no good reason if 1611 or if English is the primary language, right? So why do we get these weird Greekisms in the English? Obviously, it's because it was translated from Greek. The same thing that we get with the Septuagint, translating weird things from Hebrew into things that are weird and stilted in Greek that still kind of make sense
Sometimes
if you know
very
Greek.
badly.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
only reason is because it was
Sometimes not
originally in
even,
Hebrew.
though.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But that's what happens.
Oh.
There are ways to tell if you know two languages, and you have a book where you have copies in both, which one is the original, or if neither is the original and there's a third language that's actually the underlying original. You can tell these things if you know these languages. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that G. John Rove and Shane, aka Blacksmith, don't know.
Hebrew and Greek?
Yeah, or Aramaic for that matter.
Is that it? Or
Yeah.
or Aramaic for that matter.
My guess is
So,
that these
yeah.
are two monolingual English-speaking Americans.
That is a solid guess.
And here's the thing, right? It's
Um,
okay to be a monolingual English-speaking American. That's a lot of people. But what's not okay is to then pretend that you know enough about not just other languages, but also linguistics as a whole and the process of translation to be able to say this, right?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
By
That's
the way, Megan Fox's Giant Boobs
Oh.
raises a very good question here. Why did horror become the sacrificial lamb for being the genre for bad movies?
because it's cheap.
And
That's it. It's cheap. You can
yeah,
make a
that's
horror
probably
movie
that's
very
probably true.
inexpensively.
Yeah,
It's a lot
that's
more expensive to
fair.
make like a period piece or a sci-fi movie or even a good action movie. So yeah, it's cheap.
Yes,
That's it.
that's true.
All right, English as she is spoke. We're going to read through these 4 dialogues on 2 pages. Actually, it just spills onto another one, and then we're going to let Kip say what he's got coming up, and then we're going to get out of here. English as she is spoke. For to breakfast. John, bring us something for to breakfast. Yes, sir. There is some sausages, not sausages, sausages. Will you
How do
then
you spell sausages?
Sousages, sausages. Will you then I bring the ham? Yes, bring him. We will cup a steak, put a nap cloth upon this table. You do not eat? How you like the tea? It is excellent. Still not her cup. Sorry, still not her cup. I forgot the there. That's very important. For to ask some news. It is true. What is told of the master, capital M, 3 asterisks. I don't know what we're doing there. Then what is told of him? I have heard that he is hurt mortally. I shall be sorrow of it, because he is honestman. That's one word.
Just
Which-
like non-corresponding asterisks, like they don't.
well, they're all in a row after the
attached.
capital M. So I don't know.
Right, but then there's no.
No, there's nothing underneath for me to go reference.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which have wounded him. I do not know it why. The noise
Are
run that
these
is
still breakfast?
No, this is for to ask some news. Pay attention.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
in
The
this
noise
book.
run that is by to have given a box on the ear to of them.
Jeez. Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
What?
Also, Tree Clam Tad points out that the ROI on a successful horror film is huge, which is a part of the fact that like they're low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you make like $5 million on a horror movie, that's for most genres that would be an abysmal return. But if you only spent $250,000 making that movie, that's pretty good ROI. For to buy. I wouldn't have a good and fine cloth to make a coat. Oh, how much do you sell it in the L? There's the L again. We got L's back, Kip, which I've recently learned is actually specifically a unit of length for measuring cloth.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yeah.
That one.
We thought overcharge you from a halfpenny. It cost 20 francs. That is a lot more than a halfpenny. Sir, I am not accustomed to cheapen. Tell me the last price. I have told you, sir, it is valuable in that. It is too much, dear. I give it at 18 francs. You shall not have what you have wished. You did beg me my last word. I told you them. Well, cut them 2 L's. Don't you will not more? No, at present. And then our last dialogue, before we let Kip tell us what's coming up for him, is for to dine.
For to dine.
Yeah. So what's probably
has
here
to do
is
with
that,
news?
Well, so what's probably happening here is that the underlying French that he's translating from is pour manger, which does literally translate for to dine, but a better English translation would probably be for dining or something like that, because English likes to use the gerund in certain places where many other languages would just use the infinitive, which creates confusions when you're translating and you're not paying attention to that kind of thing. Go to dine. The dinner is ready.
Yeah.
Cut some bread. Here it is. I don't know that boiled meat is good. It's usually not very good, but you can fix that. Gentleman, which Gentil, so it's like gentleman. Will you have some beans? Peter, uncork a Porto wine bottle. Sir, what will you two?
Peter.
Yes, Peter. It's like Peter, like the name. Some pears and apples. What will you? Taste us rather the liquor, which is good for the stomach. I am too much obliged to you. It is. Oh, sorry. I am too much obliged to you. Is done. So that's some English as she spoke. Some of the most
sure
useful
is.
phrases in English that you will ever encounter. Definitely
Boy,
not poorly
there
translated.
were some very, very disappointed people who purchased this book.
And then went to
when it
like
was
the
first
UK
published.
or the US and were trying to use it. Yeah,
Right.
I do want to know if there's like any like stories that we have of like a Portuguese person who
Oh,
went to the US or the
absolutely.
UK or something. For 100
Yes.
Argentinian pesos, Rando from chat for one, I already said for what, says, if the island guy had sent his emails in English as she is spokish, none of his activities would have ever been discovered. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep.
Who's the island guy? What is
You
this?
know who the island guy is. His files
Oh,
are
that
being withheld.
that guy. Oh, yes, that
Yeah, the
guy.
island guy.
All right. Yeah.
get it. You
Thank
get it.
you. I get it.
All right,
yeah.
what's coming up? Quick,
That's
you got like
fair.
2 minutes. Go.
So
Fast.
yeah, I know. Just the usual. I'm reading Hebrew on Thursday night at 5:00 Pacific with someone. I don't know who yet. And then Vish and I will do another stream on Friday at 2:00 Pacific. And then and then I guess I'm back here. So yeah.
All right.
It's very eventful.
Tree
know.
Clam Tat for $2 says, for the love of God, Montresor the book. They'll just learn it on their own. Don't worry about it. Okay, so what we have coming up on this channel. So on Tuesday, we have a Matt with Maddie, I believe. I have confirmed with Maddie that she should be good, but I'm not positive on that. So it's possible we might have to do something else, like maybe a Kent with Ben or a Tisdale Tuesday. In case you don't know, Maddie has also been under the weather lately. That seems to be going around. So specifically, like all the women I usually have on the channel, they all seem to be getting injured or sick, and I don't know what's going on. It's a weird.
It's you.
Is it me? Am I injuring them?
It's you.
Okay.
Yes. And sickening them.
Maybe that could be it. But then again, as Sal asked, how do I get so many great women on the channel? To which the answer is primarily just like, I don't know, don't be a dick.
A mystery.
Yeah. It's a mystery that we'll never figure out how to treat women in a way that would make them not loathe being on your channel. Anyway.
Tree Clam Tat is a Caesar mythicist.
Oh. I
Like,
mean,
a
that's more-
mythicist in the existence of like the drink Caesars.
that's a
Because
salad,
I can assure
actually.
you those are real.
It's actually a salad.
It's a drink.
I mean,
and a drink.
If you smush it up in a blender,
I
I
drink
guess you could drink it.
Caesars. It has nothing to do with the salad. I drink them all the time.
This is,
when I have the
you know what, we're
ingredients,
gonna move on from the fact that you like to drink lettuce smoothies with like Caesar dressing.
No, they don't. No, it's clamato juice.
That sounds.
There's a pickled bean in there.
That just sounds like a really weird Bloody Mary.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
They're so much better than Bloody Marys.
Plus, clamato juice is
They're
gross.
better. That's why they're not on its own. It's gross, which is why you have to turn it into a Caesar, and then it's not.
I don't want
gross.
anything that's gross on its own as an ingredient.
Oh, I doubt that. I very much doubt that.
Anyway, so that's Tuesday. Then on Thursday, we should be having the third part of the Don Batten series. And I will say there is some important corrections to that in the description and the pinned comment there. So do check those out. Because I failed at finding Don Batten's source that he didn't bother to cite. And so after failing to find it, I just was like, all right, well, I guess it doesn't exist. And I went with that presumption. Because if you don't cite a source, then as far as I can tell, you don't have a source. So cite your sources, everybody. That'll be at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Then at 5 Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. The goal is to have the season finale of season 2 of Star Trek Endurance with Kip. So
yes,
yeah,
and some other people.
Lieutenant Raylax will be there. So look out for that. And then on Saturday, we'll be back. That's the plan. All right. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week, rest of your weekend. Over on my Discord, we are going to be watching some more Star Trek Enterprise from the period before they put Star Trek on it. So it's just Enterprise, I guess. Yes, Kip?
When are you going to watch Monarch, Legacy of Monsters?
We already watched the
Wasn't that
first
supposed
season.
to be next? The second season's out, though.
Yeah, well, it finished before... We finished the first season before the second season came out.
Yeah, but I thought you were gonna want what? Oh, you finished the first season before this. Well, yeah, but no. Oh, okay, I see. Yes,
Kip
got
is
it.
very confused.
Okay, because that was the last. That was the last thing you watched, right?
Yeah.
In the. Okay.
Well, no, it wasn't. We
yeah.
watched 2 more movies after that, but didn't matter.
All right, and then that was before.
So after we watch
Monarch
Enterprise, maybe we'll watch
started.
Monarch season 2. I'm not sure.
Okay,
Anyway,
I should watch it.
yes, you should. Anyway, I hope you all still stay safe out there. And remember, fuck ICE, and ICE must be abolished.
Fuck ICE.
Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Sealoof, Benthovend, Tapioca Weasel, Michał Dominiak, Sphincter of Doom, Regios, Landon Knoll, Ian Chen, Eleron Teller, Phil Rivara, Kelvin Brostock Van Manen, David Hercules, Joshua Geese, Dan Sheedy, Pegajace, The Plastic Mouse, Arrow Dodger, Gordon Loves Science, Amber Athelian, Prixie Purple, Agricola Sequa, Me, Myself, and I, Fits of Rage 23, Edwin M., Ken Swanson, and John Ackerman. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 15% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.